Keep it going, keep it going.
To the surprise of no one, I'm staying down here. It's shocking, I know. I'm actually scared to climb up there because they're gonna think I'm just a woke mannequin, just standing there. Wow, they're really ramping it up these days. And I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. Historically, not a very nice place. Like there are not a lot of nice people. People are really nice here. It's kind of off-putting for me because the thing that people say to us when we're like going to the stores and doing all this stuff is people say, "Are you a local?" Which is really nice because the assumption is you blend in, right? In New York, you go, "You're not from here, are you?" It's the reverse. People are like, "You're not from here, are you?" It's like, how do you know? You took a picture with Elmo in Times Square. The only time I take a picture is of Elmo to get him to pay child support, to claim that. I have really bad friends. What you saw there is just I bamboozled a hungover stranger to help me out there. I'm really good at that. It's a really good town to do that. You should try it sometime. Just tell them you had a lovely night before, they'll do anything, okay? It's a great town. I have really bad friends because my friends like to do all-terrain activities. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not an all-terrain kind of guy. I'm struggling out here in this town. If I'm the only disabled person you've seen all day, it's because everybody else has died in a pothole, I'm just better at bobbing and weaving than the rest of them. But I have friends that like to do all-terrain activities. And I was hanging out with my friends and they all wanted to jump into this raging river. And I said, cool, I want to do that too. And my friend turns to me and he says, Nick, if you jump into this river, you'll die. And I said, you know what's there right now? The vibes. You're killing the vibes. We're all supposed to have a great time. I can float, I'll float away. But there'll be a blissful 5 minutes where everything will be fine. Life is short. You gotta do what you love, even if it kills you. That's what I said. But I realize that because I'm in a unique position. I act like that because I'm in a unique position. Because I'm immune from any of the consequences of my actions. Let me explain. If you, lovely people, were to go out there and jump in a Pontchartrain River, they'd be like, what a fucking idiot. If I jump into the Pontchartrain River, they'd be like, who let him do that? Who let him do that? This person should be arrested immediately. If you die here, you'd be a byline. If I die here, I'm a Netflix documentary. I'm a 3-hour. How can we change this as a nation to make sure this doesn't happen again? They'll build a statue of me in some corner of this place. And I know this story feels like it has some sort of grand moral arc to it, but I'm not going to change. It doesn't matter how I go out. People will just assume the best. So I'm just going to try to do all other all-terrain activities. I'm going to go bungee jumping, I'm going to play with the alligators. Doesn't matter. It's never going to get pinned on me. My legacy is secure, It's great. It's good stuff. Anybody on the dating apps? Anybody on the dating apps? No? Not even the Mormons? Come on. Yeah? Hey, Alex. What's up? You on field, Alex? It's a question just for you. It's really awkward.
I am, yes.
Yeah. If you know, you know. If you're in Brooklyn, So field, for the rest of the class, is not your typical app. It's a sexual kink app, right? Now, I'm not a particularly kinky person. I just know that kinky people are into me. I just know my demographic and I go where I'm most marketable. They see pictures of me like, I wonder what you can do with those wheels. It's all about friction. That's what I tell them. But it's interesting because I started field pretty early on in my sexual exploits, right? So people would ask me questions, and I wouldn't know how to answer them because I just, I hadn't experienced a lot. And so I remember I was talking to this woman a few years back, and she was like, "You're cute. Your face is cute. I'd like to sit on it." And she goes, "Will it kill you though?" and I like thought about it for a second. And I was like, I don't know, and I don't care. Isn't that what the app is about? Isn't it about exploration? I get to try something new, and you get to maybe know what it feels like to drain the life out of someone with pussy, So, isn't that great? Y'all out here playing the field, I'm dying the field of battle. I'm dying for this. I'm here, so I got my face out and I'm still going, so we're doing swords next, just check it out, see if we can make that accessible. People ask me stupid questions sometimes. People try to relate to me. Don't do that. Don't do that. We don't have to do that, We can just watch a movie. We can just watch, that's a chill activity, It's like, I don't have to do any physically strenuous things. And you don't have to say some stupid shit to me. So we were good, I remember I was on a date and we were watching Superman. It was Superman. It's like a movie. And in the middle of the movie, she starts trying to talk to me. And she goes, "Look, being here with you remind me of the time that I broke my leg and how hard that was for me." And I just want to stop right there. Stop right there. No. There's an end credit scene. We can't talk right now. I gotta find out what happens to Superman's cousin. We can't talk right now. Sometimes people relate to me, but in multiple degrees of separation. They really try. People really try. They'll come up to me after shows and stuff. I'm on the road. They'll come up to me after shows and be like, I just want you to know that my brother's listening. What am I supposed to do with that, right? How is that a useful piece of information to me? The best I can think of as a useful piece of information is you're basically telling me, come over, my brother's house has no stairs. That's what you're telling me. You're giving me an Airbnb to crash at, And I'm on the road a lot lately, and it's like, sure, careful what you wish for. I'm going to take you up on that, I'm going to show up to your house and be like, hey, I didn't know anybody in Indianapolis except for you. And then I realized, your house has no stairs, so I'm coming over, I'm coming over. Anyways, what's for dinner? People ask me sometimes, especially when I was younger, I'd go to a lot of conferences and stuff. People ask me if I've been bullied before. I have not been bullied. Thank you for asking. And it's like other disabled people asking me that, so it's a little bit of an awkward situation. And then one time, one of them turned to me and he went, "Why do you think that is?" And I stopped for a second and I'm like, I guess I'm just cooler than you. Because it's like, let's look at the variables. We're both disabled. And you got shoved in a locker for listening to Hamilton for way too long. And my ass didn't. So, listen to Hamilton a normal amount of time and you'll be okay. That's my advice to the bullied, disabled kids of America. All right, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.